Well, the every guy came yesterday and dropped off 3 items. So anyway, I think there's 10 or something of these bulb holders for the side light. I've got 2 supposedly 100 watt 8-7 bulbs. The ones I bought when my bulbs both blew a month or so ago. One of them's much dimmer than the other, so I'm going to put a pair in of these, and I'll keep one of them. Well, I'll keep them both as a spare. And then my fog lights have both gone as well, which is strange. Never had a fog light bulb blow at all, but both of them have gone. So these are H8 LED replacement bulbs. So I'm going to head out in a minute and see if these. Well, I'm not going to do that just now because it's okay at the moment, but that's a future situation if I need to sort out the poor connection. So today I'm going to go out and I'm going to change the dip bulbs and the fog light bulbs, and it looks like the access for these, you have to go in through the inner wheel arch. Might have to even remove the wheel, but I'm going to jack the car up and have a look and see if that is actually the case. But it sounds like that's what you need to do. Right, I'm going to start with the fog lights. So according to what I've seen online, you have to take this front wing liner out to get access. But let's have a look under here. Well, pretty sure that looks like the fog light. Yeah. So from this side you can get access to it. So I'm going to disconnect this bulb. Well, I don't know if that's in focus or not. Doesn't look like it's blown. Well, here I am in the back of the car. There's a side-by-side comparison. I'll see about hooking that up and see if the fog lights come on. Right, I'm now going to test this bulb. So, there's nothing wrong with that bulb. So the plot thickens. Let's see. These might just be one direction, I'm not sure. There you go, that's working. So, nothing wrong with the bulbs. Must be a fuse or something like that. So on a right hand drive Kia Ceed, you've got the internal fuse block in here, and this is what we've got. So it might be that a fuse is blown here, so I'm going to have a look at this and see if I can shed any light on it, to use the pun. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me with the internal fuse box, so I'm going to take the lid off this one under the bonnet or the hood, depending on where you come from. But yeah, I'm going to take this off and see what's inside here. Well, there is indeed FF front fog 15 amp, so I guess that's what it looks like. So front fog 15 amp, there's ABS 1 and ABS 2, so in theory it could be this one. So there's a pair of tweezers to take out the fuse. Oh, that looks fine to me. Maybe something needs cleaned up in there, but yeah, that looks fine. I do notice that these. Well, I've brought the trusty multimeter out, I'm just going to test the 15. Hopefully you can see this. Alright. Okay. Hopefully that stays where it is. So one probe, so I'm on the 20 volt section. One onto the negative, or the earth, or the ground, and one onto the terminal. So I'm getting over 12 volts there, so that's fine. Try the other side. Same, so 12.3 volts. So there's power going to the fuse, but there's nothing going to the light. So, I'm definitely no car electrician. Well, I'll stop play on this for now. That's that back on, and then I will put in the upgraded bulbs. Well, this one is just absolutely hopeless. So I'm going to take this one out. So first thing to do is take that cap off. You get your fingers in there easy enough. Alright, well hopefully this won't fall over. So get my hands in, fingertips. Pull the cap out. That's easy enough. Next thing is get your finger in, feel for the latch, wherever the hell that is. Is that it there? Oh no, that's the thing. Right, so I've got the latch undone. Taking the connector off, latches back, fingers in. Bloody hell. Couldn't have made a bigger dog's dinner of it if I'd tried. So anyway, there's the bulb. There, that's it out. That's the crappy bulb. These are the ones from the BP station on the M9 near Perth. So don't get these. Right, so here's the new one. Allegedly 55 watts. Now these terminals go up, straight up and down, as far as I recall. Slip it in there. That feels like it. You're going by touch here, you're not going by looking at it. Latch it into place. That's it latched in. Next thing is just get, you should be able to see it now. That's it done. So before I put the cap on, protective cap, I'm going to test the light to make sure it's working. And I'll put this bulb in here as a spare for a dark night. So that's that. Alright, let's turn the lights on. That's the lights on. Ew, it's not on. That was on. I need to double check it. Right, ignition on. Turn the lights on. And before I put it in the bulb holder, the bulb is lit up, so that's good. So, back into the car, turn the lights off, and let that bulb cool down for a minute or something. Then I'll put it in the bulb holder. Right, so I'm coming to put the bulb in, and as I say, that tongue goes down. I don't know if you can see that, but you see where the screw is for the latch. Basically, The tongue goes roughly in that space there, just above it. So as long as you've got that tongue down, I don't know, it's very difficult to see that from this angle. There we go, maybe that's a bit better. You can then latch it. So when you're latching it, you just get your finger on the spring and then bring it up, and then you just push it down and in, and that's it. So the next step is just fitting the connector over, and that should be it. So the test, the proof of the pudding is in turning the lights on. Well, there you go. Headlight on. Headlight on. Side lights okay. And side lights okay. Now let's just have a look back. I don't know if there's any difference in brightness, but I'll check them later on tonight. So, upgraded, and so these bulbs were almost 10 times, sorry, not these ones, the one that's in this box, were almost 10 times the price of these ones from AliExpress. So, yeah, not the best, especially when the two of them are two different brightnesses. So, next thing is to put this cap on, and that's pretty straightforward. I'll see if I can do that one-handed while I video it. So just put it into place, and then if you've got reasonably strong fingers, that's it, done. So I'm going to have to investigate the probable cause of the non-working fog light bulb. So when you're putting this in, you can get your hand from this side up, and it'll be in the 6 o'clock position, so it'll be down the connector. So you can take the connector off and you turn it to roughly the 8 o'clock position, and then the bulb will come out. And then to fit it again, put the bulb, so you've basically got the connector end like that at 8 o'clock, slip it in, turn it down to the 6 o'clock position, and it should be secured. Might take you a little bit of fiddling about, but if I can do it while holding the camera, it should be very easy for you. Alright, I've got this side jacked up. One thing I can see straight away that's different is the washer bottle is in that general area. So anyway, I'm going to get down. So I've jacked it up again. I'm going to get down on that mat, put my hand up, see if it's possible to get to the bulb. What I'm hoping, I don't know if this is likely, maybe if one bulb goes out, they both stop working or something. But anyway, I shall get this one pulled out and see what's going on. I'll see what the access is like first anyway. Right then, so is that it? Yeah, so it's just there, the connector. So as I say, this washer bottle certainly kind of, if I can zoom this back out, can I? Don't know if that did anything, but yeah, so that's the connector there. It doesn't look as easy to get to, but it does have a screw there and a screw there. So yeah, I think that's doable. I think it's very similar to Adam's JD. Yeah, JD I think it is. I'm an ED Ceed, so I'm going to take these retainers out and see if I can flip this down and get better access. I might try it first with my hand to see if I have any joy at all getting that out without taking that out, but I think it's going to be easier to remove that and that. Well, you definitely recognise the technique. So there's the bulb there. It was at 6 o'clock. I've moved it to the 8 o'clock position. Take the connector off. It's the connector off. And out comes the bulb. Let's have a look. It looks okay as well. So I'll test this at the back of the car. Right, so wire touching. So there's nothing there. Well, let's just double check that. Wire. So, could it be that this bulb, which looks fine, is stopping both of them coming on? So let's have a look. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, it's still not illuminating, so I'm going to have to look a little bit more into this and see where I take it from there. But what I'll do is I'll fit the two LED bulbs, connect them up, and then do a bit more research. So if anybody's had this problem where your front fog light fuse is fine, there's power going to it, but there's not, the bulb's not lighting. I mean, I could put the multimeter onto the connector, but presumably there's not going to be any voltage there, because we did the test with the battery with the bulbs and no worky. So yeah, I'll install the LEDs for now, and then I think I'm probably going to have to revisit this when I figure out why the hell the fog lights aren't coming on. Well, I thought I seem to be having a little bit of difficulty getting it in, as they say. So I had a look at the connector, and I had a look at the connector. So there's a hell of a difference in size. So obviously it looks very similar, but this is actually, what does that say, H27? An H27 bulb. And of course these are, well, it doesn't say on there, but these are H8s. Wherever it says that, I don't know if it says anything there or not. So the bulbs are not the same. So I need to look up an H27 bulb. That's bloody handy. So that's still not explaining why it's not working yet. I mean, I can easily enough connect that. It's the same physical connector as far as I can tell. There's like a divider there, and there's a divider there that looks very similar. So I know this is working, but it's not physically going into the hole. I'm sure if I felt like it, I could adjust that to make it smaller, but it does seem to be a reasonable difference. So that's quite thick, that's quite thin. Anyway, so the plot thickens. So it's not an H8 bulb, despite it telling me that online. And I never saw an H27 described before, so back to the drawing board. So failed on the fog lights, but hopefully the front dip bulb is back to normal performance rather than the lackluster £13 for two, not in this box, but bulb inside here. Right, I think I've found out what the problem is. So turn it on. So lights are on, Now, if you look here, I'll try and get both in. So somewhere up in this area, you'll see the fog lights come on. So I turn this one, first one, nothing. Second one, it's on. Now, if you look here, see how that's moving? So it's off and on. So something's gone wrong with this. See how that's moving out? Now, I will try and hold that in. Well, I don't seem to be able to do it with one hand, but I did get it that the light came on. So it's something to do with the switch, pretty sure. So that should not be popping out like that. So I'm going to see what I can do, if I can do anything with that, but I suspect it's like one of these things you just got to change the whole bloody stock. But I did get that, when that comes on, you've got the orange light. I did get the green light to come on when I pushed it in, so I'll try it again. Right, there we go. See how it's on now? I'm pushing it. So something's gone wrong with the connection in here. I don't know if I can get that to stay on. I'll see if I can jam something in there. But that seems to be, so yeah, there you go. I don't know if it's spray or something I can put in there. It's a bad stock. Which is mad because they've hardly been used. So that's on. Yeah, I can do it consistently now. Works. Right, so I just need to push the end of it, so you'll see. So it comes on, and as soon as I push the end, all I'm doing is just pushing that, and it's making a connection. So if you've got a problem with your fog lights, they're not coming on, check to see if there's any movement when you put, I can hear the relay, there's a tick when I do that, but for some reason, now that it seems the bulbs are blown, they've not, it's a faulty stock. So I'm going to have to obviously either find a solution to how to fix that or order a stock. So yeah. Yeah, I don't think the MOT tester will want to keep his finger on that to make the fog lights work. Or it's unlikely.